named me after Jimmy Carter because he likes American politics.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
Jimmy it is.
Jason, nobody else calls me Jimmy. So that's actually one of my passwords, so don't tell anybody. Yeah, I don't have anything in the account anyway, but yeah, it's like my nickname. Anyway. But yeah, I'm Jason Kinte. It's okay. You could probably just call me Jason Kinte.
You can call me Van. That'll be fine.
Can we call you
You're
King?
Van.
change his name anyway.
Doesn't King mean Kinte mean king in an
Yeah.
African language?
I only found that out about 1 month ago, and I changed my order of my names, but I just knew Kinte from Kunta Kinte because my dad named me Jason Bernard Kinte Humphreys, and I used to hide the middle name Kinte because I was ashamed at how Africa was portrayed. I thought that I was inferior. So when I realized I wasn't, then I changed around the order of my names to Jason Bernard Humphreys Kinte.
Cool.
Cool.
Well, welcome, King. We're glad to have you here. Tell us briefly about what you do and what some of your business goals are in regards to marketing.
Am I the only new person?
Yeah, we're crusty old people.
I just met my wife, so I'm very excited. I'm 44, and I've been waiting to do the baby making thing. So it's a big deal that I finally fell in love with somebody that we both grew in love. We don't say fall because it was premeditated. So I am excited. But I've been reading the Bible since 1986. I wrote my first book in 1988. I was a scholarship winner. I'm a son of a scholarship winner, Bernard Humphreys from Antigua to Canada, and I create scholarship winners. I was the minister of the scholarship program at my last church, and so that's pretty well it. And I haven't found a good mastermind really in all these years. I teach on 5 steps to emotional freedom, and the 4th step is invest in eagles. Those are people above you that love you. And I teach on 7 steps to entrepreneurship millions. And the 4th step has to do with finding a mentor. I know, although I worked at Microsoft, Bill Gates came and talked to us. He didn't know who I was. So I've been looking for a business mentor since 1986.
Well, I hope we're the mastermind for you because I would love to have you in our group. You're awesome.
That's great. Welcome.
But I'll receive it.
All right. So what we are talking about today is we are furthering this idea of the 10 by 10 content matrix. And I'm going to drop this link in and I want you guys to open it up. And then we're going to workshop it. So we're going to talk a little strategy for a few minutes, then we're actually going to get some work done. Because the biggest benefit I want us to all enjoy being part of this mastermind is we actually get stuff done. Kind of like that idea of the open concept workplace. We could sit here and talk about ideas all day long, but unless we actually put our hands to the keyboard, our pen to the paper, we're just going to live in this theoretical, strategical world all day. And I love that. I'm very tempted to stay there because I love talking about strategy. I love just exchanging ideas, but there comes a point where you have to actually apply the strategy and make it tactical. So today's a more tactical day. Let me see. Marshall will not be joining us today, but Jason, this is a red pill moment for you. Hopefully, after being here today, you're going to be like, I never want to go back to doing business alone again. So our goal here is really to create a community where we're lifting each other up, where we're establishing strategy, we're pursuing it, and we're keeping each other accountable and motivated to actually fulfill it. And the goal here ultimately is for us to all have our own self-sustaining or growing lead generation system. So we don't have to rely on third-party lead vendors. We don't have to just rely on word of mouth. We don't have to rely on outdated networking techniques, that we can create assets, put them online in funnels and use social media strategy, et cetera, to where our inbox is constantly filled with new leads. So the principle, a way to do that, obviously, is to get out there on social media. But as busy entrepreneurs, as business owners, it's hard for us just to wing it on social media. We need to be intentional. We need to plan. We need to figure out what are we going to talk about on social media. And there's this big mental block. I know for me, in terms of creating content online, it's like, I know I need to do it. I know it's like unlimited free traffic. If I can get people to, like and share my stuff, if I go viral, right? But like, where do I start? I'm not a comedian. I'm not a magician. I'm not a dancer. I'm not a singer. Like, I'm a guy who talks about marketing. So how do I get my stuff out there on social media so people will see me and then I can direct them into my funnels, right? Because if we're putting the links to our funnels and our lead magnets into our social media profiles, into our Clubhouse bios, into our Instagram bios, onto the banner ads of our Facebook and our YouTube, if we get the exposure on social media, people are going to come into our funnels. Okay, just bottom line. Okay. Now, obviously, you can pay for traffic, but paying for traffic costs money, right? And also, until we have a proven system, like we know our funnels are converting, we know our message is resonating with our ideal clients, to throw money at that, I mean, unless you got money to burn, there's a good chance that things aren't going to work. You're going to throw good money after bad, and you're not going to have an offer that converts. You're just going to be giving Facebook money and you're going to get lackluster results and you're going to be frustrated. So the goal here is to set ourselves up to be able to produce content on social media, on YouTube, on Facebook, wherever it is you want to publish. It doesn't really matter where, but just getting a publishing plan in place where you can be getting your content, getting your expertise out to the world, speaking to your ideal client, and they're going to find you. They're going to see you. And then once that's in place, once you're like figuring out your messaging and how you need to help people, and they're clicking into your funnels, they're downloading your stuff, they're on your email list, you're getting leads, you're making some sales, not a lot, but you're just getting started. Then it's like, hey, we have a system that works. We can throw gas on the fire. We can throw some ad money at this and scale this thing. Does that make sense? Any thoughts or feedback on this? Jeff's giving me a thumbs up. All right. Yeah. Kinte, King, we love it. All right. So the goal here is to conceptualize and plan some social media posts, some content. And like I said, this could be any platform. This could be a blog post. This could be Instagram. This could be podcast. It could be YouTube. I'm not in love with the platform. That more relates to you as the individual. How do you want to communicate with the world? I can start with video or voice. Like, I'm okay with that. Scott, my good friend there, he likes to start with the written word. So maybe he needs to start with the blog post and then he can take that and turn that into a video or something like that. So that's kind of more of an individual decision. But the bottom line is, unless we are publishing, unless we are getting our message out to the world, we may as well quit right now. Like, if we're not willing to do this, like, we should just stop. You should do other things. You should get a job and you should go work for somebody else and let them give you money. But if you're an entrepreneur, if you want to get your expertise out to the world, and all of us in our own rights have a level or area of expertise that we can share with the world. We may think we don't have anything to share or it's not that valuable, even if it's like one little thing to get somebody one tiny little result. Now, I know we all have more than that, but even if it's just that one little thing, we can talk about that one little thing all day on social media. And we'll build a little tribe around this one little thing. Maybe it's mustache grooming techniques. I don't know. And we will attract people into our world and they'll eventually want to buy from us. Okay. So I'm going to drop in this worksheet that I've developed. It's called the 10 by 10 content method. I'll go over it a little bit and then we're going to work on it for like 10 or 15 minutes and then share. Share our results. Okay, so I just dropped that in the chat. If you're watching this on YouTube, I will put this link in the YouTube video. So that's just a Google Doc. You may have had one, but if you were on one of our previous calls the last few weeks, you may have had this already. Just open up your previous copy. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So I'm just going to ask you guys mute your microphone, and if you have a question, just unmute and pop back on. But that'll save us some tap clicking sound. All right, so that's all right. Caleb's. There you go. Let me take a sip of water, then I'll explain this again briefly, and then we'll go into it. Okay, so Richard BG, our friend, and most successful funnel millionaire in this group, you know, he pops in from time to time. He told the story when things were getting started with his coaching business. They had tried some online ads, but didn't really get any traction, like I talked about before. They didn't really have a system set up in place that ads would amplify. So they were trying some stuff on Facebook. They're getting some minimal results. And Frank Kern, marketing guru, he teaches this concept called intent-based branding. And basically the idea is you just make a ton of videos. You just make a ton of videos and you post them on Facebook every single day. And over time, he said like 100 videos. Over time, Facebook will start to recognize that you're a content producer and they will start to give increased reach to your videos. Okay. And the videos that do well, that get more reach, they would put ad money behind, so they got really increased reach. So like they put up 10 videos and, you know, 1 out of 10 had a lot of engagement, a lot of comments, a lot of likes, heart emojis, all that stuff. They said, hey, this video is a winner, the other ones not so much. So they put more money on that horse and they let that horse run, and that video attracted a lot of attention and interaction with the page. Okay. And then what they would do is they would remarket to the people that watch that video, and they would invite them to a webinar. They got them on a webinar. They sold them a $97 thing. After they sold them the $97 thing, they sold them a $7,000 offer. And now they're doing $5 million a month. So I don't know if we're going to do $5 million a month, but it's possible. Okay. And it starts with this idea of creating a whole bunch of content, putting it out there, seeing what works, and then we reinvest money into the one that does really well, and that gives us increased reach. So the question is, how do we make 100 pieces of content? That's kind of overwhelming. Jeff, give me a head nod. You're the only one in my little box that if that seems overwhelming, right? Yeah, that's super overwhelming, this idea of making 100 pieces of content. Okay. So what I did was I took that idea without taking any other training, and I thought, okay, how can I make 100 pieces of content? And then I realized I don't really need to make 100 unique pieces of content. This is like snippets. It's like content snippets, right? I don't need to make 100 45-minute YouTube videos, right? No, I need to make 100 2 to 3 minute videos that people can watch sitting on the toilet. I mean, really, that's what we're talking about here. Easy to consume. They're sitting on the bus. You know, they're eating their lunch at work, something that they're flipping through on their phone. They're going to see your thing, get a little snippet of information, give you a little double tap, and then keep moving on with their day, right? We're not trying to solve all their problems. We're just trying to give them a little nugget or entertain them a little bit, and then they're going to move on. But that slight bit of interaction is essentially them digitally raising their hand and saying, I'm interested in what you're talking about. I'm struggling with this problem. Okay. And so we can take that information and remarket to them. So what we have here on this 10 by 10 content creation matrix, first of all, what it is, it's 10 topics on the left-hand side, multiplied by 10 different elements of that topic. Okay. So on the left, you need to put like a, one of your frameworks, a pain point that your ideal customer is struggling with, something that they're desiring, something that they're interested in, maybe something that they find funny, because humor works really well online, you know, a funny thing, right? And you put that down here. So for me, one of my frameworks is the MVM flywheel, how anybody can start to generate leads in their business in less than 30 days. Okay, so that's one of my frameworks, right? Another framework that I understand and I like talking about is simple copywriting. Okay. And that's specifically define, agitate, solve. So this is a very simple, I learned this from Jim Edwards, the ClickFunnels copywriting guy. It's just a very simple copywriting formula that you can apply to basically anything. Ads, headlines, simple sales letters, video sales letters. So if you're trying to generate leads online, which is what I focus on, having define, agitate, solve, you can pretty much write all of your sales copy. Okay, what's another thing I like to talk about? Scott, you've known me for the longest. What's one thing I could talk about?
My brain's still warming up.
Get it together, Scott.
I'm blanking.
Perfect webinars.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeff. Simple, perfect webinar. Oh, Chuck says VSLs. VSL. A lot of people don't know what a VSL is, but they're super important. Okay. The idea of a profile funnel. Oh, it's not typing. Profile funnel. This is the concept where you turn your social media page into a landing page. Okay.
The mastermind in the community.
Mastermind. The power of Mastermind. Something called the Easy Yes system. That's how I use a free mastermind call to nurture leads. Let's see, content multiplication. Wait, I haven't really talked about this, but this is something I know pretty well, and I think it's pretty powerful. Podcast in a day. You can really literally set up a professional looking podcast in just one day as a lead generation system. And just for sake of demonstration, I want to fill all these out, and then we are all going to do the same. So podcast in a day, profile.
What about first thing you helped me with was offer stack and value ladder.
And then let's say funnels 101. A lot of people just don't know how they work. Okay, so these are different things that I talk about in my just day-to-day consulting with businesses. And now I'm going to multiply them across into different elements, different topics related to that thing. Okay, so overview, simple copywriting. So this is where I would talk about just the basic formula. Define, agitate, solve is a simple way to format just about any sales message, email, or sales letter. Backstory, I would talk about copywriting secrets. So I want to give credit to where I learned it, copywriting secrets. And then I would maybe share a story of how I've used it. Strategy, define pain point, agitate, make it hurt. Scott, you need to transcribe for me because I can't type. Make it hurt. Make the prospect ready. Really want a change. Solve the problem with your offer. Okay. Tactic 1. So maybe I could talk about when you agitate, tell a story, tell a cautionary tale. Someone who fell victim to the problem. See how this works? So I have a jumping off point, and then these prompts give you an angle to talk about that issue, because it may seem like a simple concept. It's literally 3 words: define, agitate, solve. But you can go deep on it, right? So we have a simple concept, and then we go deep on it. And then the result is, if we do this, we're going to have 100 pieces of content that we can make a 2 to 3 minute video about, or even longer. Okay. So I'm going to stop talking. If you haven't done so already, I want you guys to fill out the left-hand side. Fill out the left-hand side of your worksheet, and then we're going to talk about it. So if you're watching the live stream, this is going to be extremely boring for the next few minutes. I'm sorry.
You should have some background music.
I'll work on that. I'll work on that, Chuck.
Thank you.
If you're watching this on the live stream, you're working along with us.
Yeah, but do people ever?
I don't know. I was reading a book the other day, and it was like, stop reading the book right now and work on this thing. And I'm like, all right. So I stopped reading the book, worked on the thing, and made it that much better. Just my opinion.
I think you're right.
I got distracted for the last minute. What did I miss?
I just said we're going to work on this for a few minutes, and then we're going to share.
Okay, cool.
So the goal right now is to simply fill out the left-hand side. Okay. Ready? Start. Marshall, if you're just coming in, this is what we're working on. Drop it in the chat. We're filling out the left-hand side.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Welcome to the party.
Hey, Caleb, I love the hamsters, but would you mind putting up the spreadsheet as a guide?
Yeah, sorry. I was thinking maybe that'd be more beneficial.
Don't get me wrong. The hamsters are actually, it's pretty distracting. So this is probably better.
Okay.
Yes, great. Just so I can sort of, thanks.
Is the column B for our names? I have a commitment never to be afraid to ask a question. That's how you fail.
What's that?
Is the column B? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one because when I'm looking at it, I just logged on my computer. Okay, when I get onto my computer, I'll be able to see better. It's okay.
Sure,
I'm
no
gonna log
problem.
on my computer.
Another 2 minutes here at 7:10. We'll check in with everybody. Okay, let's check back in. So Marshall, what we're doing is the 10 by 10 content creation strategy. So the idea here is, Marshall, you can turn your mic on. Did you get the this Google Doc?
I did. Yes, I'm looking at it. I just, like I said, I missed that first part. I was trying to stay incognito. Thank you very much.
Well, this is
not
a
anymore.
mastermind, so your question
anymore.
is everyone's question.
Yeah, but everybody else was on at the right time.
It's okay. We'll shame you later. All right. So 10 by 10 content creation matrix. If you're just tuning in, on the left, we have our frameworks, the way we deliver results, pain points of our dream clients, things that they desire, Maybe you could call that goals, things they're interested in. A hook, something that will just catch their attention, a funny thing, something that'll entertain them. So we put them on the left-hand side, and then we go deep on those topics, 10 to the right. And so we're going to talk about different elements of that topic, and the end result will be 100 unique pieces of content you can take 2 to 5 minutes to explain. That makes sense?
Yes.
Okay. Where are you getting hung up? Or is it just you needed the explanation?
I'm not hung. I've never worked on this before. I've never done it. So I'm
Okay.
not, it's all new lingo. And
Okay, cool. So why don't we share what some people wrote on the left-hand side, and maybe that'll give some insight to making this a useful tool. So who wants to share what they've written on the left-hand side? Frameworks, pain points, desires. Jeff's raising his hand.
I'm always happy to.
Okay, Scott will. All right, we'll go Jeff and Scott.
You may just read down the list.
Yeah, read.
All right. So first one is why have a selling system? The second part is like how to build trust, or rather not screw up your first impressions. Next one's creating a new and better elevator pitch. Next one's how to never have to deal with objections ever again. Next one's how to get a ghosted client back on the line. Next one's how to talk about money. Next one's digital prospecting. Next one's asking questions to displace your competitors that might be entrenched in a bit of business. How to sound different on a sales call, and how to identify and change your limiting beliefs.
Cool. Nice. Well done. So those are keystone topics you talk about on a regular basis?
Right.
Okay. And how did you come up with that list?
I just went through my standard curriculum, really, and I was like, okay, what are the things I always talk about? What are the things that are easy for me to create videos about? And these are all things I run through in my classes all the time.
So you're not coming up with unique, fresh ideas right now?
Nope.
Good.
Nope, nothing
Awesome.
creative there at all.
All right. Van, I see you did your name there. All right, Scott, what do you have on the left-hand side?
Well, I like how Jeff had them in the form of hooks. I need to work on that. So far, what I have is my framework, path to intimacy and fulfillment, awaken monogamy, pain point of loss of trust, pain point of poor communication, not on the same page financially, a desire for more passion, intimacy, and connection, framework of the 4 pillars of fulfillment, and I think I have 3 more I need to identify. I got stuck.
Okay. I haven't heard too much about sex there. I mean, doesn't sex sell in your world?
Every single one of them is about sex.
I didn't hear the word sex.
Oh, that's number 7 is sex, 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 and more sex.
Okay, write it down.
He's a relationship counselor.
Scott.
Okay. And I'll ask you the same things. Are these topics you talk about all the time?
Yep.
Okay, so this isn't like coming up with fresh original stuff that you've never you've never talked about before, right?
Nope.
Okay.
I was just thinking about what are the things that come up in conversations with prospects all the time.
Right. So what are people already struggling with? What are people coming to you with questions about? That's what goes on the left-hand side. All right. Marshall, you with us?
I am.
So did you fill any out or you want to freestyle some?
Freestyle.
Let's do it.
Well, I was thinking of my book, and using some of the aspects of leadership to kind of throw some thoughts out, like for instance, the power of self-awareness as a leader. Does that sound like, I mean, I'm trying to capture as people are doing their list, kind of the same thing. So the power of self-awareness as a leader, the difference between transformational and transactional leadership, the how to okay, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm fetching here, so I'm digging as we're talking here.
Fine.
Is that all right?
This is a live call, Marshall. It's all good. This is not a performance.
But you are live.
Yeah.
And this I'm not able to type into this thing for some reason. So
You have to save it. You have to go to file. You got to go make a copy. It's in the top left.
okay.
But
Okay.
don't worry about that now. Let's thought exercise. What are some
Yep.
keystone topics that you talk about all the time that maybe you've
Yep.
written about in your book, or
Yep.
things that you consult clients with already that they're coming
Yeah.
to you with these issues?
Yeah. So another one would be the lack of consciousness as a leader. And I think I'm trying to make these more of a hook, like you said, is help. I don't understand how to lead a team.
What?
Help. I don't.
Sorry. The framework on the left-hand side, that could just be a concept. In the individual 10,
Yeah.
going deep, you can have hooks to those, right? Because we're always given a hook, we're always given a story, we're always giving an offer, right? So there's multiple layers of tactics we can use on this.
Right,
So this is just a jumping off point, and so we can turn our overview into a hook. Like for me, define, agitate, solve. Are you looking for a simple way to write every email, every sales message, every social media post ever, right? One simple 3-word formula that you can use every single day and sell more stuff and get more clients. Would you be interested in that? Okay, well, the answer is define, agitate, solve, right? If you can remember define, agitate, solve, you'll never have to learn another piece of copywriting again, right? So that's a hook on my overview, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So just keep it simple. What's the concept? And then you add a hook to each one, because you want to get these people to listen to you, right?
So like
in
the framework, I might put authentic leadership. The second one might be effective team leadership. The third one might be is that what I meant? And then move over to overview by saying, hey, has the only team you ever were a part of was when you were in the Army, and now you're leading a group and everybody's leaving your team because you're treating them like a drill sergeant? Is that kind of what you're feeling like?
Yeah,
that?
Exactly. So I think that's a good teaching point, and I'll say notes because I'm gonna keep improving this. And then each sub element, I can't think of the right. Each content square has a hook, story, and an offer. So hook, how are we going to get their attention on this little bit of content? What's the story? What are we talking about? The content. And then what's the offer? The offer could simply be, if you like this, double tap. share it with a friend. Join me in my free webinar call. Like it doesn't have to be a transactional offer. It could just be an offer like to show appreciation, to engage, to leave a comment, whatever. So that's good, Marshall.
Thank
Van,
you.
Yeah, that was awesome. Kinte, you want to share if you're still with us?
Sure. I was just trying to figure out if I was supposed to put it in the same thing, but it's on my copy, right? You can't see it, right?
I can't, but just I cannot, but just share with us what are some of the frameworks or pain points on the what is this, the y-axis when you go up and down on the left?
On my drive, so I guess I have to figure out how to port it over. But so my my framework, 7 principles, the 1v7 scholarships. The pain point is Christian parents that have, particularly from my community, that have low marks. They're with teenagers with low marks, but high academic ambitions. And the desire is for them to win scholarships when they're graduating from high school and be able to afford college without their parents having to have a lot of savings. And the interest is coaching, right? Lower videos, information as to how they can help their kids get higher marks and also do the other things that they'll require to win scholarships when they're graduating from high school. And the hook is I have a $25,000 scholarship offer, up to $25,000 scholarship offer to my coaching program, the Think Freely Gifted program.
Cool. What's one funny thing you could share?
I share a lot of funny things. So like sometimes people make fun of me because like some guys are, because I've been waiting for a marriage, and sometimes I don't know why it's not popular because guys make fun of me. One time a guy made fun of me, and some guys are so thirsty, they get thirsty because I'm not drinking. And I don't understand why somebody would get thirsty because I'm not drinking, because I preach on abstinence. It doesn't make sense to me. Why would you get thirsty because I'm not drinking? So I don't know. Sometimes the people think it's not appropriate, but people think it's funny.
If people think it's funny and it's your story, I'd say roll with it. I think there's an element of polarity in this where you can push some people away who are not your ideal clients, and you're going to attract some people to yourself. So if you are in a position of coaching others and they identify with your values, you're going to attract more to yourself. So abstinence, waiting before marriage, there's nothing wrong with that. So
I want to jump in here and I want to add to that because I think it's important. Exactly what you said, Caleb. I was talking to a business and they had somebody developing a website, and they wanted to put on there that their Christian values, that was one of their core values for their company. And that developer said, no, don't put that on there. You're gonna push people away, or you're gonna lose some business. And my take on that is just like you said, Caleb, like, who cares? Like, if those people are put off by my core values, if I'm a Christian or whatever that is, then I don't want to work with them. So that just goes right back to what you were saying and what you told King there. Like, you want people that are going to be your same thinking, following you or working with you.
Yeah, I totally believe that. And when you go through school, little kids make fun of you because you're different. And that's one of my messages. That's why I call myself gifted like you online. The sixth principle, the 1v7 scholarships, it's more important to be right than be popular. Slavery was popular, but it wasn't right. And Jesus was right, but he wasn't popular.
That's awesome. So, Jason, you're going to teach us how to all have a little bit of polarity in our messaging. So please stick around. Please keep showing up. And we like your fresh energy, even though you're from Canada.
Thanks.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's all good. It's good. We're the country
We'll
above
let
you.
that
They love you.
slide.
Look, it's funny. I told the woman I talked to that we have free healthcare. She said, "What?" She didn't know. I'm like, "How do I thought everybody knew?" But we're like that kid in school that what the popular kid thought of the nerd in school. He didn't. You guys are the popular kid. Yeah, we're over here.
Yeah. All right. So let's wrap up with some takeaways. So today, what we effectively did was hopefully you've outlined some frameworks, some pain points, some funny things, some polarizing things, some hooks that you can go deep on. So our this week set a minimum goal, like, okay, I'm going to at least fill out a few of these different columns, or I'm so bad with Excel. What's a column? What's a row? You know what I'm trying to say. What's the X? What's the Y axis? Yeah, I know. It's whatever. So this week, set a goal to fill out a few rows. Yeah, I think columns go up and down, rows. So set a goal, fill out at least 3 rows. And fill out at least 3 rows of content, and don't overthink it. Right. This is a 2 to 3 minute video that someone is going to watch on the toilet or in passing. Okay. So yeah, if it sucks, that's okay. Jason, we will call you King. It's
Yeah,
okay.
everybody can call me too. I meant to be to one person, but it's okay.
It's all
lonely
good.
up here until my girlfriend can come over here. And she's not my girlfriend technically, but it's okay. I live alone, so you guys can call me. You guys can come over. It's all good.
Thanks, bro. All right. What are some takeaways today? Kinte, we'll go with you. King, we'll go with you first. Keep it brief. What was your takeaway today?
I think that just put out a lot of content, but have the structure. So I got a lot from this exercise, and thank you for letting the Canadian join.
You're welcome. Vandeford, you've said nothing all day, so share something. You're muted. You're still not sharing anything.
That the content doesn't have to be anything particularly special or deep. It just has to be something that addresses something that somebody's looking for. And that could be something, and it's very commonly just stuff that we do so routinely. We just need to make people aware of it.
Awesome. Marshall, you with us still?
I am.
Yeah, what's your takeaway today?
My takeaway is I don't ever want to miss one of these calls again, because this was a really great one, and I apologize for that. But so my takeaway is I think, like everyone else, saying that there's some structure to help move us through, the framework, and then to be able to go through and answer these questions to create that, the stuff that you need to make effective videos or whatever. So it's really, really good. Thank you.
Awesome. Scott, you.
So mine is, when you said something about you just need to make 100 snippets, or you said snippets, and it was just sort of an aha moment of it's a little piece of content, and I could literally go through a slide deck, and just like each slide or each bullet point on the slide becomes one of these videos, and that to me makes the 100 seem a lot easier. And then I was also thinking, you don't have to figure out all 100 of these cells before you get going. Just do like 10 at a time, and then start doing the recording. And I also, out of Jeff, got to make the topics into a hook or a how-to.
That's good. Awesome. Anyone else want to share a takeaway?
I think the big thing for me, and it's always this great reminder. First of all, Caleb, thanks for going back to this and workshopping it, because the first time I saw it, I was like, okay, cool, this is a cool tool. But like everything else, we sort of filtered and kind of fell at the bottom of my to-do box, to-do list. But going through it and filling it out, it's really great clarity about, oh, here's what I can go out and I can produce. And then I'm looking forward to connecting that to the best way to get it out and share it on a cadence. Because for me, the details are very difficult. So the more that I can automate things and have them working for me, the better, as opposed to like trying to always keep up with it. So this is great. Thanks.
Yeah. And once you have this as your template, your recipe, you can batch content. So, you can make 10 videos in an hour. I mean, easily. And then bam, and then if you do 3 hours, you have a full month's worth of content. So you could literally block out a 4-hour time once you get this all laid out, do what Marshall does, get a few different hats, a few different shirt changes, maybe a different Zoom background, and you just bang out a whole bunch of videos, right? And then you pay someone $100 on Fiverr and have them edit it and upload it to Facebook, right? So it seems more complicated than it is. And honestly, I'm telling this to myself as well, as someone who has a business, 3 kids, a job, right? Family, like all these, I'm just like you. I have all these different competing demands for my time, and I am constantly looking for different ways that we can actually grow in this area of online marketing, but make it simple. So my goal, and this is like an evolving mission, is to take this stuff. It's super powerful, but ain't nobody got time for that, right? Especially as you're transitioning into this, trying to grow your business, right? So I'm trying to turn these into simple little worksheets that are actionable. So if you need a reason to join the mastermind, that's one reason alone, right? We're trying to distill all the great knowledge and tactics of the great ones, right? The Russell Brunsons, the Frank Kerns of the world. We're trying to just simplify it and make it tactical and make it useful. So thanks so much. Next week, I'll be at Funnel Hacking Live. We're still going to have a meeting, whether I'm on live or whether Scott's hosting the call and you guys are continuing this exercise remains to be determined, but I'm hanging out with the great one next week. So wish me luck. Pray that I don't get the COVID, and appreciate you all, and we'll see you soon. All right. Thanks, King. Thanks, King, for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Yay,
See you guys.
bye.
Bye.